The dream of a new home turned into a nightmare for Amara, a black single mother, when her neighbor's smiles hit a sinister truth. She moved into a quiet suburban street, hoping for a fresh start. But something felt wrong from the first night. Strange noises echoed through her house, and chilling messages appeared on her doorstep. Was this just a cruel prank? Or had Amara stumbled into a neighborhood that didn't want her there? What would you do if your new home became a battleground for survival? Keep watching to uncover the horrifying truth. Amara, a 34-year-old nurse, had worked tirelessly to buy her dream home in Oak Ridge, a picturesque suburban neighborhood. After years of renting cramped apartments, she saved enough for a modest 2-bedroom house, envisioning a safe haven for herself and her 10-year-old son, Jaden. Oak Ridge seemed perfect, tree-lined streets, friendly way from neighbors, and a top-rated school nearby. Amara felt a surge of pride as she unpacked, hanging family photos on the walls. Jaden, usually shy, was excited to explore the backyard, dreaming of a treehouse. But subtle signs gnawed at Amara's peace. The realtor had hesitated when showing her the house, mentioning locals who value tradition. Neighbors stared a little too long when she moved in, their smiles tight and fleeting. At the grocery store, a cashier whispered about Oak Ridge's close-knit community, her tone laced with warning. Amara brushed it off, chalking it up to new home jitters. She'd faced skepticism before. Being the only black nurse in her unit taught her resilience. Still, she double-checked the locks each night, a habit from her old neighborhood. One evening, as Amara tucked Jaden into bed, she noticed a faint scratching sound from the attic. It was probably squirrels, she told herself, but her gut twisted. The next morning, a folded note sat on her doorstep. "You don't belong here." Her heart raced, but she had the note from Jaden, determined to protect his excitement. Was this a mistake, or had she moved into a place that saw her as an outsider? The air in Oak Ridge felt heavier now, and Amara couldn't shake the feeling that something darker was brewing. The notes became a daily ritual, each one more menacing. "Leave before it's too late." One read, scrawled in red ink. Amara's sleep dwindled as she lay awake, listening for footsteps outside. She reported the notes to police, but the officer, a gruff man with dismissive tone, suggested kids were playing pranks. His eyes lingered on her skin, and she felt the weight of his unspoken judgment. The neighborhood's warmth vanished. Curtains twitched when she left for work, and Jaden mentioned kids at school whispering about the new lady who shouldn't be here. One night, Amara woke to shattering glass. Her living room window was broken, a brick lying amid the shards. Painted on it in white letters, "Go back where you came from." Her hands shook as she swept up the glass, Jaden's frightened questions echoing in her ears. She called the police again, but they took hours to arrive, offering no solutions. The next day, her tires were slashed. Amara's savings dwindled on repairs, but she refused to leave. This was her home, earned through years of sacrifice. She installed security cameras, their red lights blinking like defiant eyes. The harassment escalated. Her mailbox was stuffed with hateful flyers, some quoting Bible verses twisted to justify exclusion. At the community meeting, Amara stood alone, her voice steady as she asked for support. Neighbors avoided her gaze, their silence louder than words. One woman muttered about keeping Oak Ridge pure, and Amara realized the truth. This wasn't just one person's hate. The neighborhood itself seemed to conspire against her, a quiet agreement to push her out. Jaden stopped playing outside, his laughter replaced by anxious glances. Amara's heart broke seeing his fear, but she felt trapped. Moving would mean defeat, draining her savings and dreams. Late one night, her camera caught a hooded figure spray painting her garage. Last warning. Her pulse pounded as she watched the footage, the figure's shadow vanishing into the dark. Who was behind this? Was it one neighbor or many? The uncertainty gnawed at her, each creak in the house amplifying her dread. She began researching Oak Ridge's history, uncovering whispers of redlining and exclusionary covenants buried in old records. The past was alive, and she was its target. The breaking point came on a stormy November night. Amara sat in her darkened living room, clutching a baseball bat as thunder rattled the windows. Her cameras had gone offline, and the power flickered. Then, a loud crash echoed from the backyard. Heart pounding, She crept to the window and saw flames licking her shed, where Jaden's bike was stored. Someone had set it ablaze. She grabbed her phone to call 911, but the line was dead. Panic surged as she realized this wasn't just harassment. It was a deliberate tact to drive her out or worse. She rushed to Jaden's room, waking him and whispering for him to hide under the bed. The fire's glow cast eerie shadows through the house. Amara's mind raced. Was the arsonist still out there? She peered through the curtains, spotting figures moving in the rain-soaked dark. Her breath caught as she recognized the neighbor's silhouette, the same man who'd smiled at her on moving day. The betrayal stung deeper than the flames. This wasn't random hate. It was orchestrated, personal, rooted in her skin and her presence in their perfect neighborhood. Could she protect Jaden from a community that wanted them gone? Amara doused the fire with a garden hose before it spread, her hands trembling but resolute. The police arrived at dawn, but their questions felt accusatory, as if she provoked the attack. She showed them the camera footage, now restored, but the figures were too blurry to identify. Exhausted, Amara faced a choice: stay and fight or leave for Jaden's safety. She chose to stay, channeling her fear into action. She contacted a civil rights lawyer, who uncovered Oak Ridge's history of discriminatory practices. The lawsuit she filed exposed the neighborhood's complicity, sparking local news coverage. Some neighbors moved away, unable to face the shame. Others apologized, their regret too late to undo the trauma. Amara's story inspired a community group to advocate against housing discrimination, but the scars remained. Jaden struggled with nightmares, and Amara's trust in new beginnings was shattered. Yet, she rebuilt the shed, painting it bright blue, Jaden's favorite color, as a symbol of defiance. Her fight revealed a broader truth. Racial injustice festers in quiet places, hidden behind smiles and picket fences. Amara's home became both a battleground and a beacon, proof that resilience can outlast hate. But at what cost? How many others face silent wars in their own homes, their stories untold? Amara's courage challenges us to confront the shadows in our communities. Will we stand by, or will we fight for change?